What do you think the most important point to play as a team on Game 3?
Defense, always communication, defense, rebound. Offensively, the same old things.
Do you have a confidence to win Game 3?
Yeah.
Cousins had 6 assists
Yep.
last game. What particularly was his playmaking at the center spot do different?
Their triggers are, really big. Obviously, and Cousins always been a great passer. Their spacing, having those two guys and getting so much attention. The lanes, get so much bigger. But we have to do a good job of, pressuring, making them catch, different places, having to kind of look through and put more pressure on them and do a better job of staying connected to our guys, communicating.
How much different is the way they pass and cut and move than the teams you played previously in the playoffs? Is there adjustments?
Obviously there is, but it's you have two great shooters coming out both sides. You have to be really good on them, and the guy helping. If you help a little too much too early or not communicate good enough, the basket's going to be wide open. It's hard to guard dunks. So you have to do a good job of first ball pressuring and do all those stuff and communicate and help one another and be physical and even with all those teams, they're going to make some tough shots and they're going to score the ball. So not to overreact and get your offense going quick.
Marc, the box and one you guys went to the other night, when Steph was talking about it post game, he described it as janky. What was your reaction to that?
What janky means? How would you define janky?
It's sort of like lower quality, run down a little bit.
I don't know what he means by that. I normally don't comment on other people's comments because you don't get the whole sense of what the whole package. You just get a little bit of information, so it's hard for me to comment on. It's something that it's been in basketball for forever. It's not something that just seen it in that game. We've seen it before for many years. So if you're that good of a player, I'm sure that he might see it again another time.
Marc, you had a pretty small sample size against the Warriors this season, so now that you've had the chance to go up against them in this final situation a couple times, what's your assessment?
If they run free and get to the actions they want, they obviously very dangerous because they in rhythm, the passing is in rhythm, the screening is in rhythm, the slips, everything it's like a domino effect for them, and one action triggers another, and it's pretty quick reads for them, and their spacing is really good, and they space out for reasons and with a meaning to every position on the floor. So you have to fight for every position on the floor as well defensively. You start with your shots. As soon as you take a shot or you don't get the rebound offensively, you got to get back and start communicating.
Marc, you played against Kawhi for years, and now your teammates with him. Defenders seem to bounce off of him because he's so strong.
Yep.
Now that you're a teammate and you got to see it first up close, just how strong is Kawhi?
How strong is Kawhi? He's a strong player, I suppose. But if you want to win at a high level, no matter how strong you are, you gotta play like you're really strong, and that you have to win every physical battle. When you're on the ball, off the ball, the successful players. They might not be the strongest ones, but they act and believe that they're the strongest ones. So I think Kawhi does a great job of imposing his will when he needs it, and I guess he's strong.
Is there anything different you've noticed about Kawhi now that you're his teammate as opposed to playing him?
I didn't analyze him, as a teammate when I don't analyze him now either. Like I try to help him as much as possible and help the team as much as possible on both ends. And seeing the coverages that they're throwing at us. Obviously, we haven't been together that long, but it is what it is. Like we're confident, we have the right mindset as a team. We communicate. We talk about the hard issues that happens on the floor. We don't, take things personal. So that's always good to see.
Marc, with Looney out for the series now, we're going to see more Boogie on the court likely. What makes him so difficult for attack guard?
He does a lot. Well, he can do a lot of everything, but he does a bit of everything right now. He shoots the ball from three. He passes. He's a big body that knows how to play in the paint. They're looking for him early on the offense to get him involved. So you obviously got to honor him because he's a very talented player and a confident one.
Marc, you guys are in Oakland now. How does that team change this team's approach playing on the road?
It's the same approach. You come out and you try to get as many stops as possible and score as many points as possible, and hopefully, you put in all those things together and you score more points than the other team. Like the approach doesn't really change. If anything, you got to be a little mentally stronger than at home because you don't have that crowd behind you to rally back up. But we did it the little time we've been together. We've been on the road and came back on big games, and I'm confident. I like the mindset of the team always.
Marc, los Warriors son el equipo más que gana más en condición de visitante. Ustedes de local, ¿crees que pueden romper con esa lógica de que la serie está empatada 1-1 aquí?
Sí, como sabes, las estadísticas son lo que son estadísticas que se pueden romper y pueden variar dependiendo, no es una matemática exacta ni mucho menos. Entonces nosotros tenemos confianza en nuestro juego, vimos las cosas que debemos hacer mejor para el tercer partido y creemos mucho en nuestras habilidades y las cosas que hacemos bien.
Y ellos hicieron un trabajo muy intenso sobre tu marca. ¿Crees que vas a poder revertir eso?
Sí, claro, se debe. Ves cómo te defendieron, ves los espacios que te dejan, ves donde ellos intentan cubrirte de una manera o de otra y ahora es un poco contraatacar, ¿no? Cuando vistes lo que funcionó para ellos, pues ver lo que debe funcionar para ti.
Marc, 17 intentos en los primeros 2 juegos de esta serie. Ahora en este tercer juego acá en la casa, sabiendo que obviamente la banca no necesariamente carga mucha de esa fuerza ofensiva, ¿espera ser mucho más agresivo?
Sí, al final yo creo que los tiros librados que tuve, pues los tomé con confianza. No, esta vez no entraron igual que quizá el primer partido, pero al final el balón tiene que moverse, el balón tiene que jugar una acción a la otra, poner mejores bloqueos, abrirse para espacio y tiempo al pasador. Esto es un juego de equipo.
¿Cuán difícil es el rol que ocupas en el equipo ahora? Donde sabemos que tienes que ser mucho más paciente en muchas ocasiones para que te llegue el balón y en muchas ocasiones cuando te llega no necesariamente estás en ritmo.
No pienso en qué prefiero yo, pienso lo que es mejor para el equipo e intentar ayudarlo cuando me toca y nada más. Si cuando tengas el balón, ser agresivo de cada lado, tomar las decisiones correctas, no intentar perder el balón y ojalá que los tiros entren.
Marc, ¿qué fue lo que sucedió en el segundo tiempo durante el juego 2? Los Warriors entraron al tercer cuarto con una racha de adición.
Especially when you guys run the ball. It's tough. You just got to adjust to the officiating. It's a completely different whistle than game 1. And I thought that they did a better job of dictating, getting to the foul line and using that stuff against us. And, we got to continue to be aggressive. We can't lose the level of aggressiveness. But at the same time, we probably got to be a little bit smarter in certain scenarios and keep those guys off the line as much as possible.
Is Steph doing that more than in the past when you've guarded him? It seems like, especially in this series, he's kind of like finding ways to kind of muscle his way to foul.
Me personally, I don't feel like it's that much different, but I see him trying to find different ways to kind of get me off of him a little bit, and they're setting a lot more back picks and stuff like that, so I have to switch and things like that. So they're making adjustments as they should and as they will, and we just got to continue to try to make our adjustments.
You mentioned how long the season is before that. I noticed it's a CBA thing. Do you wish there was more time within the regular season to rest, or do you wish it were a shorter season? Do you not think about it at all?
I'm not the one for those type of answers, man. I'm 25. I've been in the league 3 years. What's the right answer? You make a shorter season, somebody complains about that. You make it longer, somebody complains about that. So who knows? It's not up to us. I don't think my voice matters anyways. There's a lot of TV contracts and the CBA is long, and so we got a great union, and I know that they have our best interests at heart, and we rely on them and the veterans of the league to kind of take care of us there. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a right answer there, but we're having fun.
What's been a more difficult task? Trying to score against the Warrior defense or trying to defend Stephen Curry?
Like personally or as a team?
Personally.
It's equal. I mean, it's just both sides of the ball. You got to play both sides of the ball. Guarding Steph is not easy, and you know, scoring against them is not easy. So obviously they're a very tough team. That's why they're in the finals.
When you know that they're about to be a little bit shorthanded, or there's a little uncertainty as to who's going to be available, does that change your mindset at all? Are you able to does it change the way that you guys sort of focus on things going into the game tactically?
No, not really. I think you gotta have that same level of approach no matter what. That same level of focus. If anything, just try to take advantage of the opportunity and really, you know, go out there and put together a full force effort. So we're not looking ahead or looking past anybody. Like I said before, they have a very good team, top to bottom, and no matter who's out on that court, it's gonna be a tough challenge for us.
Just sense that maybe if you guys take care of your business, you maybe get to your game, the rest of it doesn't really matter.
You just want to take care of what you can control. You know, go out there and play your game and play it at a high level, and you know, let the chips fall where they may.
Thank you.
When Marc Gasol got here, he could be a very forthright guy. I mean, he's a terrific team, but he can can you just give me maybe a little glimpse of how he imposes his will, or?
I think Marc, it's been like this for a couple guys, but Marc especially, like when the first day he got here, you know, it seemed like he's been here for 10 years.
Really?
And he's just got that calming presence, and, you know, obviously we all respect him as what he's done in the league as a veteran, defensive player of the year, and those guys in Memphis. So he gets a lot of respect around the league, and I think that just him walking into our locker room, he walked right into that vet role of being one of the voices in the locker room, one of the leaders, and he talked from day one, even when he didn't fully understand everything we were doing. He was communicating with everybody. He talked to me as if I was playing with him for 5, 6, 7 years. So I never met Marc before, but the first day he walked in the locker room, I felt like I'd known him my whole career.
It's no different than what it has been all year. You know, if you want to be a championship team, you have to win on the road. Obviously, the series is tied 1-1 right now, and in order to get home court back, we have to win one here. And it would be nice to start with, you know, Game 3.
There's so many guys in this series now, somewhere between hurt and injured. Or how much does the calculus change in the playoffs on what you can play through versus the regular season?
Oh man, I guess it depends on how bad the injury is, but a lot of bumps and bruises you're going to play through unless it's something serious. It sucks that they have so many guys out and injured. Obviously, we want to play against a 100% healthy team. But you know, it's the name of the game. Usually, the team that makes it or wins it is the best team playing the best basketball, or also the healthiest team. And they've been that team for the last 4 or 5 years now. It seems as if it might be catching up with them. But hopefully, all those guys are playing. It'd be nice to compete against them because that's what we love to do. We love to take on the challenge of playing against their best guys.
With the Spurs, was there one run that was toughest for you, given what you were playing through at the time? Or?
Yeah, for sure. Probably last year, the groin injury. Didn't know how serious it was until the end of the season, but there's been some seasons up and down, but probably last year with the groin injury.
Draymond was saying it's not just physically, it's not just mentally, he said emotionally at the end of a run, you're just done. I mean, can you articulate kind of where you're at?
Yeah, so I can imagine going to 4 or 5. I think they've been to 5. Draymond's probably been to 5 finals back to back. I've been to 2, and it's a short summer. It's a quick turnaround. So just as much as it's draining physically, mentally and emotionally, it's even tougher. And usually that's the team that comes out on top, the team that's more locked in, and that's not as emotionally or mentally drained is the team that's the freshest, and that's usually going to come out on top. But it's tough. It's been a long season, and we got to just finish it off strong. We have about 2 weeks left, hopefully a week and a half, and the team that actually can focus and lock in for that stretch is usually the team that's going to come out on top.
Talk about this arena. Your arena is very loud.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect for this arena?
We expect them to be loud as well. Obviously, they want to win another championship. It's a great atmosphere here, but we have to do a good job of trying to keep the crowd out of it, not let them get on runs, and continue to play good defense, but offensively not turn it over and not have any lulls in any parts of the game, especially third quarter.
Your coach just made reference to when you guys switched to the box for one, consult with some of the players. Does he do that a lot? Coach consult with you guys on strategies to play against the teams?
Not when it comes to that type of strategy, no. You mean in the boxing one? We haven't spoken about it. We hadn't spoken about it.
He said he talked to you guys on the sidelines about it before he implemented just in the last game.
Yeah, but previous to the last game, we hadn't spoken about it. obviously before we did it, we had to talk about it. But I mean, previous to that game, it wasn't something that was like, oh, you know, should we try this? Should we throw it in? So.
Not specific to the boxing one, are there other strategies that you consult you guys with during different games
Some,
throughout the season?
some, and some have worked, some haven't. But I said he's obviously new coach first year, but he has a lot of good strategies at work, and he also wants to hear what we have, what we feel comfortable doing, implementing on that end of the floor, seeing who's comfortable guarding what, and you know whose strengths and weaknesses are, and especially on the defensive end of the floor. So yeah, we've all communicated and tried to get on the same page to make sure our defense has been pretty solid for most of the year. It's not been the problem for us. For us, is the reason is offense, and the reason why our defense, I guess, has had some lows because our offense has been bad in terms of turning the ball over or getting bad shots, which not allow our defense to get set.
What is the most important point to play as a team on Game 3?
I think we got to do a better job. Just better pace, and obviously we know that third quarter team. We got to be able to match up the intensity in the third quarter to start. And yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you good.
How do you think about the matchup between you and Draymond?
I mean, I think it's fun. I mean, I got to find more opportunities to be able to attack and stuff like that, especially in transition or different ways, even posting up and different ways to attack.
And sometimes Draymond takes a little bit personal and emotional. Do you think that's going to help you, to get more intensity playing against him?
I already have intensity. Like, I don't need extra motivation or anything like that.
Pascal, Iguodala called it a chess match, sort of the back and forth, the adjustments that are made between games, even from quarter to quarter, possession to possession. That's obviously the case in any playoff series,
right.
But does it reach another level in the NBA Finals?
Of course, because I think every possession counts, and definitely we played against champions and guys that's been there. Obviously, they know how to make adjustments because they've done it before, and we also have a team and veterans and guys that know what's going on, and it's definitely something like that where we're gonna make adjustment, and people are gonna bring you're gonna have different matchups, and it feels like every possession we changing stuff, or not changing but making adjustment or trying to do different things, or the other team is doing different things. So it's definitely interesting.
Pascal, this is 20 games into this playoff run for you. Each time there've been different adjustments to make. Like you said, I mean, you got Giannis, and does it get any easier as you do it, as you go on, making those adjustments? Because obviously now you're going to make one with Draymond, right?
All right. I think it's. I mean, I think it doesn't get easier. I wouldn't say that, but I think it's just interesting, that you have to be able to adjust. That's the playoffs. That's why you play. It's best out of best out of 7. So it's going to be a lot of games, and people are going to see exactly what you do, and they're going to look at that, and you have to find ways to adjust, and it's fun. It's fun, and I think that's part of growing and being at this level is being able to adjust. And
have you had highs and lows, or have you been able to keep it pretty even? I mean, you've had 4 games where people were saying what happened to Pascal, and then the other 16 people are saying he's doing his thing.
Right. I mean, obviously there's definitely highs and lows, but at the same time, I think the most important thing for me and is being able to impact the game without scoring, because I mean, at the end of the day, if you score 30 points, right, you're the best ever. But if you score 10, it doesn't matter what you did. It's your worst game. So I think for me is knowing that, especially with the team that we have, is that I can score. Sometimes I can score 30, and sometimes I can score 10. But I have to be able to have an impact to the game and on defense, and being able to bring that energy to the team. And that's something that has to be consistent. And maybe I could have have a better energy or anything like that, but I think just making sure that the things that got me here, or the things that I do well and I can do without I can control those things. I have to be able to do those things consistently every single game.
What makes you
guys are on the road now. How does that change this team's approach?
I mean, I think we've been on the road. We've been on the road throughout the playoffs, and we kind of know what to expect. But at the same time, on Blue Bay Arena, the fans are incredible here too. So it's definitely going to be, a great atmosphere, playoff playoff type of environment on the road. So it's fun. We've been in these games, before. So we just gotta go out there and be ourselves.
In terms of game prep, is there an added challenge in facing a team that's as banged up as they are, with all the uncertainty in the roster, not knowing when Durant is going to be back, not knowing if Clay is going to play in Game 3? Does that add a different dynamic to the preparation?
No, I mean, because we all know, they're a great team regardless. Like, at the end of the day, we don't look at that. I think for us, it's more about us just making sure that we do all the things that we're supposed to do, in terms of game plan and making sure that we bring the intensity and the energy that we have. Because at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter like who they have, or we got to be able to have that same intensity against anybody that we play. So it's not like, oh, if Kevin Durant's playing or this person's playing, we're gonna need to have that same intensity, and we're gonna have to beat those guys.
You were the X factor in Game 1, and they obviously made some adjustments. How are you going to readjust?
I think it's just gonna be able to adjust. I don't know what to tell you, but I think it's playoffs, right? Like, you play good sometimes and you make shots and it's all good, and then you don't one day, and next time you gotta be able to shake it off and find other ways to attack or different things to do.
What makes you cautious about Warriors?
Say one more time. Sorry.
What makes you cautious about Warriors?
What do you mean, like
their play style?
The style of play?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the transition team, and they play fast. They play really, really fast. We have to be able to, those first 8 seconds of the shot clock, we can't have them score, and that's where they are the best, shooting threes, running. We have to be able to make them play in the half court a little bit more.
How does it affect your own play?
Sorry?
Your own play when Durant's not in there?
How does that affect my play?
Yeah.
I don't see. Yeah, I don't think it affects.
Doesn't matter at all.
No, I don't think so. I mean, in terms of the way we play, like.
Well, I mean, you personally.
Okay.
Your game.
No, I don't think it affects me.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: what about the 2 wins that you had over them in the regular season? He had big games.
Right.
But one of those you didn't have Leonard, and what kind of lessons did you draw from those 2 games?
I think it's kind of hard, right? Like it was early in the season, and definitely a lot of things changed. It's definitely hard to draw from those games because we don't really know. I don't think we have much data from those games, but just knowing that, the type of player he is he definitely affects the game in a whole different level. Just being able to score the basketball like he can, and he's also like another rim protector for them too. So all those things combined, is definitely a big part of what they do.